This is Todd Harris. I'm executive producer of the game Global Agenda. We're an action MMO here at E3 in Los Angeles. And the game basically allows you to create an elite special agent character and compete for the limited resources and territory on a future planet Earth. First, the action gameplay. It plays a lot like a first-person shooter. We've really drawn on a lot of inspirations from first-person shooters. So the cover is real cover. You're using projectiles. You're tossing grenades. You're dodging back and forth. So the gameplay really has been well received by folks here at E3 because they can sit down and as soon as they really get on the controls, it feels very familiar for shooter players. At the same time, we've got all of the build management of an RPG system. So you're able to choose from 4 different broad classes and configure those classes by using talent trees. Actually, today at E3, we're debuting the 3 talent trees for each of the 4 classes that we have. And then over the entire gameplay of shooting and of character role-playing, there's the idea of a campaign. So that is basically a epic grand strategy game competing for limited territory and resources between player-created groups. So we're giving just a taste of all these elements today at E3. Today at E3, there's a few things we're showing for the first time. One of those is character creation. We spent a lot of time on our face customization system, and so players are getting a chance to create their own character and actually can sculpt down to the tip of the nose or the lobe of their ear if they want to. So they're getting a look at face character customization for the first time. They're also getting a glimpse into the backstory of Global Agenda via a mission we call Inception that basically shows how the Orwellian world government of Global Agenda came to be, and the player is a fugitive from that government. They actually escape and learn the basic gameplay of Global Agenda, which includes jumping, crouching, but also things like grappling and, very importantly, jetpacks. Then another debut is a social area. We're showing Dome City, which is set in the Sonoran Desert, and it serves as a player hub for the community. Players can meet other players there to group up for PvE or PvP. There's shops there so they can buy armor, enhanced jetpacks, new devices, implants for their character that give additional buffs and that sort of thing. So Dome City is another piece of new content. And then as far as playable maps, we're showing 2 new zones for player versus player, one that's set in the Arctic and another that's set in the Himalayan region, which is pretty nice because it's got very nice foliage, trees, and a little more of a natural setting than some of the things we've shown in the past. And then we're showing, for the first time, a revamped player versus environment set of content where the player goes in against Commonwealth Labs in a secured area. From 1 to 4 people can play, and they have a really fun, engaging mission, including a boss fight at the end. So that, along with the first taste of the player skill trees, is all new content being debuted here today. You can actually level up your character through player versus environment. You can go solo, you can pre-form with the team before going into a mission, or we have a good matchmaking looking for group system on the back end that will allow you to play PvE. So the mission that's actually being shown right now that folks here at E3 are playing is in a sector of Commonwealth where, again, we've currently got 4 people running through it. It's a progressive point capture mission where you're fighting androids from the Commonwealth. There's security workers in there that you have to be careful of, or they'll call in reinforcements. There's mini bosses along the way, and then at the end there's a pretty epic boss fight kind of off of which they're playing right now. Right now our lead designer Ares is battling the Viking bot who's shooting a crap load of projectiles at him. He's dodging side to side. He's playing robotics, so he's trying to put down force fields to protect his team and see if his robotics pets can help deal with this mega boss that's on the big screen. So a lot of really fun, compelling content for the PvE player, as well as the competitive PvP that we're going to be featuring a little bit later today at the show. Yeah, for player versus player, we actually have 4 very different game types with a number of maps representing each of those game types. What we're showing here today are primarily attack, defend maps. So there's an attacking team of 8 to 12 players against a defending team of 8 to 12 players going through a progressive point. So they're trying to actually take over a territory from the defending team. It's been very intense so far. There's been a lot of very close matches, and we have people here in Los Angeles actually battling against each other, and some people back in Atlanta playing on our alpha server, basically. So very intense matches, very close, and people have, in some cases, having to be forced out of their seat to give the chair to the next person. Favorite thing to me almost always involves jetpacks because it's one of the unique parts of the game. So, our maps are very vertical. We really use vertical space a lot. So I love being able to, for instance, as an assault, jump up to a roof, throw throw something like a concussion grenade that'll knock my opponent off the roof and go plummeting into the water or off the map. So a lot of people's favorite moments seem to have to do with jetpacking and the use of that in the game. Well, of course, as an independent developer, we do have the luxury of saying it'll launch when it's ready. We've always had a philosophy of testing until it's right. Right now, we're in the phase of alpha testing. We work with a very supportive community of about 1,000 folks. We're planning this summer to enter closed beta. We are still accepting applications for that closed beta process, but we anticipate that'll launch certainly this summer. And based on the testing of closed beta, that'll determine our launch date, but right now we're still on track to release by the end of the year.